Every year, students from many communities around Massachusetts are honored by the Boston Globe for their work as writers and visual artists. An award ceremony took place recently in Boston, and joining us are one of the students being recognized from Boston Arts Academy, Duke Atkinson, and the program director for the Globe Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, Tim O'Connor. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you, our pleasure.
I want to start with a little history, Tim O'Connor, aside from the fact that you won one of these awards a few years ago. How did this thing get started?
It started with Robbie Robertson in Scholastics Incorporated of New York wanting to have the artistic and writing students recognized, not the athletes. So that was 88 years ago. The Boston Globe began the program 61 years ago. They're the longest running affiliate nationally in the United States, and they too want to promote the visual and writing talents of the students in grades 7 through 12 in Massachusetts.
Well, they do some nice work, and it's good they're getting recognition, but why is the recognition important?
The recognition is important because these are students that sometimes fall between the cracks, if you say. They focus on athletics a lot in the school systems, but there are these talented artists and writers that really need to be noticed and recognized.
Duke Atkinson, tell me about your beginnings here, because you didn't just do something once and get lucky with the contest. This goes back a ways, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely started when I was, little. I did some drawings and stuff. I remember doing, the drawing with the mayor. I did a cover for the mayor, and not sure, I forget how it worked, but I did the drawing with the mayor, and I got recognized.
How old were you
for
when
that.
this?
7
years old.
Yeah. Starting with the crayons and worked my way from rendering and stuff like that, and I always did that, working from there at home.
Any people along the way, whether it was people in school, at home, or even in the neighborhood, saw what you were doing and encouraged you and said something to you?
Not to my knowledge. From what I remember, I was never really recognized and told to keep going. I kind of did it on my own and look forward, inspiration in myself to keep going visually as a visual artist and move forward.
Now you're in a school that I'm sure has dozens and dozens of visual and other types of artists. So when the news reached the school about this, was this a big deal for them?
Yeah, actually, definitely it was, because everybody knew before I did. They made announcements on the intercom, saying congratulations, and I wasn't too sure about what I was being congratulated on. People saying congratulations, and then I got the email saying I won Gold Keys honorable mention. And I was just like, wow, this is cool, and I definitely it was a good experience to know that I won.
Tim, anything stand out among the winners this year, either the visual artists or some of the writers?
Well, the visual arts, it's amazing the amount of talent that's out there and the creativity. There's a lot of technical stuff that's out there, but which the students are using to their full advantage. But it's also works like Duke's that is just wonderful. That it's their own work, their creativity that just jumps out at you off the canvas or the paper.
Now, one of the things I read about in the article, and this is an interesting slant on creativity, is that it's not just something that is in your head and you spout it out on paper, for example. There was one student, I think, who went to India, went around with prostitutes who were trying to promote safe sex practices and wrote about this. In other words, it seems that you're encouraging kids to engage in the world as opposed to just fantasize and write.
As far as the writing goes, yes, exactly. I mean, they also do visual commentary through photographs as well in different countries, showing the different levels of poverty or whatever the case might be, whatever the subject matter is. We want kids to be involved out there. We want them to notice what's happening around the world and around not only the world but amongst themselves, within themselves.
Duke, what about the art that you do? Do you see that as connecting with the world that you know, whether it's locally or some other places?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I'm actually doing this grant now. I've been chosen among the top 20 in my class to be granted $500 at least to do this project where I'm going to be servicing underserviced youth. Students that are not involved in 3D art like I am. I want to make sure that I'm out there giving them the opportunity and the resources to create art, which involves, printing in 3D, which is a new phenomenon now, and we also have making sure that they, know the history behind 3D printing and 3D art. So I'm definitely trying to give back by, going forth with that grant and making a program, if you want to say.
I want to ask you about the work you got the award for. This is a self-portrait?
Yes.
And how did you do it exactly?
It was it was a night, and I finished all my homework, and I was just like, I really wasn't. I was, trying to think about what I wanted to do. I pulled out some paint, pulled out, something. I looked in the mirror, and I was just like kind of sighing, and I was like, I kind of did that, and I looked in the mirror, I was like, all right, I'm gonna paint that, and I started to paint it. Pulled out the layers, colors, pulled forth, back, and then came out the way it did, and I was pretty excited about it.
Now, interesting, you can look at a face in the mirror, and whether you like it or not, you think of it as a copy, but there's another part where the art begins, and it isn't exactly a copy. It's something different, right?
Yeah, definitely. When looking at that, it's like when you see it, you kind of notice something different about you. You kind of see that characteristic in you. Also becomes a different person. And if I can reference a book, it's Dorian Gray, if you guys remember.
The picture of Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray. It kind of gave me that element, and looking at myself really showed who I was, and it kind of captured me as an artist.
Tim, what's the next stage? Because I guess there is a national level here?
Well, actually, yes, the national competition has taken place, and this year Massachusetts students won 71 national awards altogether. The national group gives out $10,000 scholarships nationally to seniors for their portfolios, and 5 $10,000 scholarships of writing. And Massachusetts didn't get one, but we received 2 of the visual art, $10,000 scholarships, and 1 of the writing. So 3 out of 15, I think, is a pretty good track record.
Now, one of the things I wonder about when you see all these, what kind of thinking goes through your head? I mean, some of this is inborn talent, maybe, but some of it is that the fact that there are opportunities for these kids in the schools, and maybe now with tight budgets, maybe there aren't as many.
There aren't. It's limited, depending on the school systems and budget, as you said, the budget cuts and where they're taking place. But one of the things about the Boston Globe Scholastic Art Writing Awards is it's gotten to where this is a level of quality that administrators, teachers gauge the work that they send into the program. Where, as I said, it's been going on for so long. They look at the pieces that they're about to submit and think to themselves, and they look back at the years they've been involved in and say, all right, is this Globe work quality?
Yeah, because when I look at some of the entries in this year's contest, they don't look as if they were just amateur efforts.
No, there's some very sophisticated work. And there's 1,500 pieces on display out of almost 12,000 images that were uploaded that we went through and juried. So it's been an undaunting task.
So Duke, how does all this fit into the rest of your life and what you see yourself doing beyond high school?
Oh, definitely. I look at it as more of a portfolio thing. It's for me. I didn't see the importance of being recognized for your art, and now it's profound to me that you want people to see what you've done, and you want show them proof of what you can do and your potential. So definitely it is an important part in my life, moving forward and creating a concrete future for myself.
And Tim, this sounds like something, it's not just for people in the visual arts either. I mean, if you're going to college, other than MCATs and SATs, you got to show them some things.
Right, exactly. And as I said, this program is known nationally, and we've gotten many requests from students and parents and family members because as Duke just pointed out, it's a validation for the students to be acknowledged at the various levels of the program.
All right, thank you very much for being with us, Jim O'Connor and Duke Atkinson. We'll be back in a moment after this message.